Hey guys, Niffler here and welcome to my Oro Sacrifice build guide. In the current 5 weeks Darkshrine event, I wanted to give this unique sword a try. I mean, it has up to 750 fire DPS, so if you compare that to a physical two-handed weapon, you would have a mirror-worthy rare, and in addition to that you gain free frenzy charges by simply igniting enemies. This frenzy charge generation is far superior to Blood Rage or Cursing Poacher's Mark, as it doesn't require you to kill stuff, but means you can keep up all charges even during boss fights. For that reason, there are plenty Flicker Strike builds out there utilizing this weapon, but in my opinion Flicker Strike is a very impractical playstyle with almost no control over your character, so I choose Cyclone for my main skill. I tested a few other skills as well, but they could not compete with the AoE damage effectiveness of Cyclone. In addition to that, Cyclone has this unique mechanic that you can DPS while moving, so you can minimize incoming damage by simply dodging most of the hits in the first place, and you're able to kite bosses around. In terms of passive tree, you have two choices. You can either start as Templar for more early DPS, or you can start as Marauder for more early life. So in a hardcore league, I'd prefer going Marauder. In softcore, I'd go Templar for faster clear speed in the early levels. But no matter what you choose, it's just 1 point difference, and from there it's pretty straightforward, stacking up as much life as possible, weapon elemental damage and fire damage nodes, and 4 important keystones. We got Resolute Technique, the standard non-crit always hit, as we are not crit based. Then I always skill Unwavering Stance when I'm a melee character, as it's very annoying to get stunned. You are immune while cycloning, but in between you could still get stunned. Some people think it's not worth. I always pick it when I'm a melee character. And then in combination, Iron Reflexes, as we can no longer evade, we can also just convert all the evasion into armor. I'm using some uniques that have evasion on them, so for me it's worth. You have to decide whether or not to pick it, depending on your evasion rating, of course. And then lastly, Blood Magic. This character is a Blood Magic character, one of the few I've done, as the only auras we would benefit from are Anger for more fire damage and Grace for more armor. And of course you could go Haste or Heralds, but it's not very effective. So basically you're trading the damage from Anger versus a free support socket plus 35% increased maximum life. And in my case, I felt I only have a 5 link, so sparing out Blood Magic from my links will be more effective than having Anger, and in addition to that I gain plus 35% increased maximum life. So I spec Blood Magic. If I had a 6 link, maybe, but if you're on a low budget, if you don't want to care, just skill Blood Magic so you can do every single Blood Magic map, every single lower, no region, whatever map. And now continue to one more notable thing in the passive tree, which is the duelist area down here. You can see normally you have here two-handed melee weapons, but only physical damage, and these clusters are converted with the unique jewel Fireborn to now grant fire damage, so you can get those juicy Master of the Arena and Art of the Gladiator, which are very beneficial to Cyclone's AoE and damage, as movement speed is basically your attack speed, but more of this later. For bandits, I choose Oak Normal as I'm a life-based build. In Cruel, you can either get attack speed or the passive point, whatever you prefer. I took the attack speed. And then in Merciless, you can either go for more tankiness by picking the Endurance Charge from Oak, or you can go for more DPS with the Frenzy Charge, as you will always have all Frenzy Charges up. Our main skill, Cyclone, is linked with Weapon Elemental Damage and Fire Penetration for more DPS, increased Area of Effect for better pack clear speed, and Life Gain on Hit for sustainability. I choose Life Gain on Hit over Life Leech, as Life Leech was nerfed down to only 2%, and as you hit the same target multiple times, Life Gain on Hit feels a lot better. For our 6th link, I would not choose faster attacks, as the attack speed of Cyclone scales better with your movement speed instead of your attack speed. For everyone who is not aware, every time you start spinning, you hit every single enemy around you once. So what you want to do is you want to reset your Cyclone as fast as possible. In order to achieve that, you want to click as closely to your character as possible, and the faster you move to the destination, the faster you can reset your Cyclone, the faster you'll attack. So in my case, I would link Blood Magic as a 6th link, which will free up my passive tree and allow me to cast 2 auras, in my case Anger for DPS and Grace for more armor. The rest of my gear has pretty standard sockets. We got Leap Slam, faster attacks with 45 for the standard movement. Then we got Endurance Charge and Melee Stun for the casual Endurance Charge, as well as cast when damage taken, Warlord's Mark. You could also choose other curses, Defensively, Enfeeble and Temporal Chains, or for more DPS, Flammability and Elemental Weakness. I got an Enduring Cry for self-casting, generating endurance charges as well as Vengeance, but all those links are pretty non-necessary. I'm leveling some gems here. You could add a second cast when damage taken setup with Immortal Call or, for example, Molten Shell, whatever you like. For gear options, my jewelry looks pretty standard with weapon elemental damage, life, resist and flat fire damage if possible. Both rings pretty similar. The same with the amulet, but there I'm also stacking intelligence for my stat requirements. The belt, same story again, life, wed and resist. The gloves, nothing more to say, you want to have attack speed and life with some resistances. Flat fire damage if possible, and then of course some armor and evasion is never bad. Same goes for boots, but there's one very important stat, 30% movement speed. You want to have not 25 or something, you want to have 30 as it scales your attack speed as mentioned before. The same goes for the helm. Devotor's Devotion, my unique of choice here. This is best in slot as it has 20% movement speed again for your attack speed scaling, as well as 16% attack speed, much needed dexterity, and the 10% reduced physical damage is not even affecting you. This is of course again not compulsory, you can use any rare helmet till you can get your hands on a Devotos. Same goes for chest piece, Chaos Heart Glory's Plate, best in slot, you gain 500 life and even more DPS with the increased fire damage. No sockets is not bad for us, as we are a two-handed weapon user we can use our 5-linked auras as soon as we get one. Before, you would level up with any chest. I used the blue 5-link before I got a Chaos, and of course you can use any other budget unique. For example, Belly of the Beast for more life. You can use Carcass Jack for increased area effect. You can choose Bronze Light for attack speed, movement speed and increased damage with movement skills. Or anything else. Any rare will do. Now, the one downside of this build is Aura Sacrifice level requirement of 67. But as you are a non-weapon specific skilled character for a very long time, you can use any weapon type. You can use dual wield, you can use a two-hander with elemental damage on them. And high elemental damage weapons usually cost nothing in the start of a league. I leveled with the two-handed axe for a long time, which I bought for 1 alchemy with 300 elemental damage. And a very smart use of that independence of weapons is using claws with life gain on hit and elemental damage. So if you can get your hands on a claw with life gain on hit and high wed, that would be ideal, because then you will have a 4-link, Cyclone, weapon elemental damage, fire penetration, increased area of effect, and the life gain on hit is implicit on your claw. So that's how I saved my 5-link before I found a chest and stuff. If you have any questions concerning this build, just feel free to use the comment section below. I got the passive tree covered in the description below and even a small post in the forums, which is not as detailed as my usual build guides, as I will try to get more guides out more frequently, and if I am spending days on creating these forum posts, this will not be possible. So if you rather want to have more guides, I will tune down the complexity of the forum guides, but therefore you have everything explained here, and as mentioned before, you can just ask me questions. That's it from my side for today. As always, thanks for watching, and for more Path of Exile content in the future, feel free to subscribe to my channel.
See ya.